Hey there YouTube fans, how you going? I better sit back a bit. If you're patient with me, I just want to go through some really exciting results. I'll start with my intermittent fasting changes. So from the 25th of October, I weighed 168.6 kilos, and on the 8th of November 2018 I weigh 166.6. so there's a change there of 2 kilos. The body fat percentage went from 48.9% to 47.1. That's a fantastic change. The fat mass was 82.4 kilos and now it's 78.5. It was the fat-free mass, which is bone and muscle and everything, was 86.2, and now it's 88.1. This is in a very short period of time, a couple of weeks. Muscle mass was 82 kilos, now it's 83.8, so 1.8 kilo gain. That's about 4 pounds. Bone mass, this is interesting, it was 4.2 kilograms and now it's 4.3, so even my bones improved. This is all through intermittent fasting. This is a minimum 16-hour fast with an 8-hour eating window, 2 or 3 meals in that eating window, but then on the next day still doing at least a 12-hour fast the next day and doing that alternate day fasting. Alright, so this was really encouraging. I was almost in tears. And then I also had my blood test results. So I'm just going to talk about mainly what's high. The fasting glucose was borderline. It was 6.1 in the Australian standard, and the cutoff here is 6. So that was pretty damn good. Now alkalizing phosphate, AST, ALT, they're all high. So 130 for alkalizing phosphate, which was, the cutoff is 110, AST was 42 and the cutoff is 40, and ALT 89 and the cutoff is 40 as well. And this can signal, as I already know, fatty liver. Fatty liver causes insulin resistance and diabetes. I've had fatty liver for over 20 odd years. Cholesterol was borderline 5.6 and the cutoff is 5.5. Triglycerides 1.4, which was perfect, and CK was 540. Now apparently exercise can do that. The cutoff is 250, so apparently you don't have to worry too much about that. Thyroid stimulating hormone was 2. The range is 0.3 to 3.5, so 2 is really excellent and nothing to worry about there. Hemoglobin 162, which is really good when you're on testosterone replacement therapy. Red cell, everything great. Lymphocytes, eosinophils, all that, platelets and everything perfect. All in range. PSA, which is what men need to test for possible prostate cancer problems. Mine was only 0.6, the range is 0.25 to 2.5, so that's really good. Nothing to worry about there. Testosterone, now apparently the endocrinologist said that in obese people it's hard to measure testosterone. It can measure low, and I'm not really happy with that, but I suppose I have to defer to his judgment on that. But luckily at 6 weekly injections at the moment, which is going to move to 8 weekly. In fact, it has moved already to 8 weekly because I just had an injection recently. The testosterone is 13.3 nmol. The range is 11 to 40 allegedly, and the SHBG, serum hormone binding globulin, is 20. The range is 10 to 70, so there's not really anything to worry about there either. The calculated free testosterone, according to this, is 364. The range is 260 to 740. So that seems alright. Now, the HbA1c. So this is pretty early. The HbA1c tests your... Basically, it's a measure of diabetes for a 3-month period. And it went up slightly because it's too early yet with all my new diet and exercise. So it's 7.1. The cutoff is under 6.5, so it's reading as high. The HbA1c IFCC is 55 millimoles, and the cutoff there is 48, which is saying it's high. So of course I'm diabetic. So good control is 6.1 to 7. Very good control is under 6.1 in the Australian standards. And so, according to this, it was suboptimal control, 7.1. But that's all going to change. Fasting glucose was borderline, 6.1. The cutoff is 6. And cholesterol, again, borderline, 5.6. The cutoff is 5.5. So it's pretty good cholesterol for me. And total cholesterol, 5.5. HDL is perfect, 1.01. LDL is really high, 3.9, which is really good. So really the cholesterol, apparently there's nothing to worry about there. FSH is follicle stimulating hormone. It's under 10, which is 0.6. And luteinizing hormone, of course, because I'm on testosterone replacement therapy, is under 0.1, so it's almost undetectable, which makes perfect sense. My half a tablet of Aromacin every 4 days is working like a charm. It's perfectly, according to this result, perfectly where you would want it for a man, which was 92. The range is 55 to 165. I feel good at 125. From 72 to 110, I think, from off the top of my head, was a really good range to be in, and I'm at 92, which is great. So half a tablet every 4 days of Aromacin was working for me. It's really encouraging news. The really strange thing is, this morning I was heavier and I was really hungry last night, but I'm actually training more in the gym, so it kind of makes sense. I've got to go to the gym now, but that's an update. Within a really short period of time, intermittent fasting is working like a charm again. It always does. The challenge is to stick to it. What I've done, as I said, is, if you haven't watched my other videos, is at minimum 16-hour fast. Like yesterday I did 17 hours, 17 to 24, 16 to 24 is what I'm trying for. And then you have an 8-hour window to eat in, and I'm trying to do 2 or 3 meals there and split up in time. Don't just eat constantly. And then the next day doing a 12-hour fast minimum if I can. Well, I generally do. So day on, day off, and I think I might have a little rest tomorrow, because tomorrow is Sunday here. And it basically helps you. It doesn't really seem to hurt having one day off. Eat a little bit more, whatever, enjoy yourself for one day. By the way, I am having a little bit of beer, a little bit of wine. I'm talking about a little bit, and it doesn't seem to be affecting my weight loss, or in fact, again, this I did a video recently that I had had about a bottle of wine, or 3/4 of a bottle of wine, and then I had a pizza because I was going to go and start intermittent fasting. This was before the 1st of November 2018, and I come back with blood sugars of 6.7 after 2.5 hours. That never happens, never. So my theory was the alcohol protected me against all the carbohydrates in the pizza. And yesterday again, something really strange happened. I had a couple of small glasses of homebrew beer, and you know, for the taste, and it's really hot here. It tastes really good, my homebrew. Anyway, and I bought some Italian biscuits, and they have a lot of carbs in them, and I couldn't stop binging on the biscuits. You know, that's a problem with diabetes, and if you're dieting, it is hard to sometimes control yourself if you have a bit of sugar. And to my amazement, 2 hours later, can you imagine, my blood sugar meter was reading 4.9 in the Australian standard. Now you multiply that by 18 and you'll get the American standard. If I can just quickly do that while I'm talking to you, I couldn't believe it. I thought, what the hell's going on? I mean, I'm fasting and everything, but why is my blood sugar so low? After having, I had about 10 biscuits, 10, because I couldn't stop. They were tasty Italian biscuits. And so my blood sugar was 88.2 in the American standard. Can you imagine? So again, my theory is that the alcohol, processing the alcohol, and I've read this before, processing the alcohol protected me against high blood sugars from eating all these carbs. What I was considering of doing is getting some limoncello or vodka or something, and every now and then, when you want to have something high carbohydrate, if you want a piece of cake, piece of cheesecake, a pizza, you know, anything high carb, chocolate or something, and because you know, every now and then you can't just keep on dieting forever. You're going to give it up. You're going to think it's too hard. It certainly works for me anyway. All of this, check with your doctor before you do anything. But I think I'd like to test one day, and maybe I'll get it on camera. It's just having a shot of alcohol before you get into some carbohydrate loading or sugary loading thing, because I think it works to protect you against all the carbs and the sugar. Of course, everything in moderation. A little bit of alcohol is actually good for diabetics, but a lot of alcohol is not. Of course, it's not good for anyone. And if you're not of drinking age in your country, then you shouldn't be drinking at all. But adults are allowed to have a little bit. I don't know if I'll look any thinner on camera. It's still not a lot of weight coming off yet, but again, the weight moved around 6 or so kilograms. Alright, well, I've got to get ready to go to the gym. I hope this has been of some help to somebody. Intermittent fasting is really miraculous for diabetics in my opinion, but that's my opinion. Check everything with your doctor before you do anything. I've checked with all my doctors. I read the endocrinologist's report yesterday. He said that I was going to do fasting. He didn't say anything about it. None of them complained about it, because I guess I've got a lot of body fat, so I could sit there and fast for long periods of time, I think, and I wouldn't have a problem. Alright guys, take care, eh? Hope this has been informative. Like, comment and subscribe. Take care, be good, God bless you all. Hope you learned something today. Ciao.